Everyone, it's Fran is Epic here, and after a few weeks I've finally got access to a laptop, and I know this is a bit of a change and very different to what I usually post, but I feel like I can talk much more freely and from the heart by actually talking to you instead of writing out a whole novel, which would probably take you a century to read. Firstly, I just want to say that just because someone is the top of a leaderboard on a game, it does not mean that you should try and agree with everything they do and say. In fact, Ishacool at the top of the MSP leaderboard was once my best friend, but I soon saw her true colours, and I'm sure after hearing this you will too. After all, 19-year-old Ishacool, also known by her real name Zara, and yes, I understand she denies this publicly, but I have screenshots and proof that Zara is in fact her name. She lectures everyone else to not lie, which is fair enough because I agree that lying is wrong, but isn't it awfully, hypocritical when she can't be honest herself? Anyway, for the past weeks I have been given endless hate by Pandypolo. I'm sure you all know who Pandypolo is. She's been, venting her anger out on me, calling me disgusting names, almost threatening me, trying to hurt me endlessly. I didn't even react to this like most people would. I simply didn't even respond. I simply tried to be the bigger person and let her vent her anger and did not react whatsoever. On a few occasions, though, I asked her kindly, calmly and politely to stop, yet she didn't and even laughed at me for it. Aisha was also giving me endless grief, and when I finally reacted after months, she cropped out the hate she gave me and tried to make me look like the bad guy. In fact, during the conversation, she told me I deserved to be raped. She told me that I should jump off a bridge, and she told me that I did not deserve to live. I understand that I shouldn't have reacted, but do you blame me? I'm sure 99% of people would have reacted a long time ago and a lot worse than I did, and the hate that I was given by Aisha and Polo was 100 times worse than how I defended myself. Isn't it ironic how once again Aisha is being hypocritical by saying I caused Jay grief here, with my psychotic ways as she called it, when she caused me endless pain and hurt and anguish. She also hurt her own cousin in the process by never listening to him or what he asked of her, and she never left me alone, which of course when me and Jay were together would have hurt him a lot. I know I made mistakes in the past with Nick, but we all make mistakes and we learn from them, which I clearly have. Also, it's not like I wanted to get with Nick. Honestly, if you want my reasoning, I pitied him. I felt extremely sorry for him because of certain personal things he went through, and I wanted to try and please him and make him happy. I understand that this was wrong, but why are we dwelling on it? Can't we move forward as mature and sensible human beings? I'm 15 and I feel like even I am dealing with this more maturely than 20-year-old Pandypolo and 19-year-old Ishacool. I'm not saying this to be big-headed, but it's what I see. Why a grudge is being held and why is negativity being spread instead of positivity and love? So the blog also lies here. It says, I will blame Jay. This is, I just have no words for this. This is totally a lie because, of course, this never happened, and I am sure he can confirm this for you. I was remorseful, regretful, and I seeked forgiveness. I did not blame him once. Within this post, there are contradictions left, right, and centre. I can't even tell you all of them, but I'm sure when you read it, you'll be able to see yourself. There's just so many. It's ridiculous. For example, apparently I am smart enough to be manipulative, yet later on it says I have an inflated view on my abilities. For the record, I'm not manipulative whatsoever because let's face it, if I was, I wouldn't be in this situation, would I? I'd have manipulated people to get out of it. Honesty obviously hurts. And I don't have a grossly inflated view of my abilities, which she says around here. Grossly inflated view of her abilities and self-worth, cocky, a braggart, and an arrogant biatch. It's, wrong. That's all I can say, really. In fact, I'm actually quite humble. It's how I've been brought up, I guess. Though Pandypolo did say white upbringings are awful, meaning people that are white and have white parents have awful upbringings, which I found, very racist and wrong. Stereotypes like this do need to be broken sooner rather than later. Anyway, I'm actually quite unconfident and shy. People even like Aisha once said that I was shy before they got to know me. Saying I have an inability to feel emotions somewhere around here, is the lowest of the lows in my opinion. I mean, once again, it's wrong. Everyone feels emotion, whether you like it or not. I have cried so many tears over Aisha J and Polo, so of course I feel emotion. I'm human, despite Polo arguing that I am not in the past. Which is, I think it's in this post. But, yeah, it's wrong. After all, like, if I didn't have emotions, why would I be suffering from depression? Aisha knows this is true, as I confided in her from day one. I confided in her since about 2012, summer 2012, fall 2012, one of them. Yet she claims I have no emotions. It makes no sense to me. This post genuinely doesn't make sense to me. Also, where is it here? I'm not a slag. I'm genuinely not. It's wrong. If you look up the definition of slag, it clearly doesn't fit me. I'm not sexually promiscuous. In fact, I've never been intimate with a boy. I don't judge those that have though. It's a personal choice, but for me personally, I haven't yet. So calling me a slag is completely wrong, just like the rest of the post. Even in a defensive post, Aisha finds a way to send sly hate. It's ridiculous. Here is the sly hate. So even when she's trying to defend herself, she's still giving digs, which it's wrong. It shows she can't control her tongue or her bullying tendencies, which really isn't appropriate, especially when she's the top of a kid's game and people are beginning to look up to her. Also, what makes you think that you have the right to talk about my feelings publicly and in a bad way? I never threatened to commit suicide, but I confided in Jay, like all couples do, about my feelings and how I wanted to stop them. Depression's an illness of the mind. It can be a chemical imbalance in your brain. It's life-consuming and wasting, and you are trying to make me seem wrong for confiding in someone I love for it, which is of course a step to recovery. Also, Aisha says that like anyone would go to great lengths to help someone. Wrong. I didn't even tell Aisha how I was feeling, but somehow she found out and gave me more and more hate. I'm sure she wanted to push me to breaking point. It's evil in my opinion. This is funny though. Let me just find it. Here. I never said I was nice. This made me laugh because it's proven, but you couldn't learn to show some kindness and niceness. I mean, after all, for some reason people look up to you and you should set a good example to them. Be nice, be kind, be forgiving. And also, if Aisha and Polo are watching this, you are Muslims. You are expected to believe that all forms of bullying are wrong because of the immorality of the deed, and you have a duty to stop all forms of evil, let alone cause it. The Quran teaches that Allah is merciful and forgiving, so why not try and act accordingly to Muhammad's teaching on peace, reconciliation, and turning the other cheek? When will your cruel behaviour end, not only for my sake, but for your own sanity? We all deserve peace, despite the hurt you have inflicted and the stories you have twisted. Peace and love is the most important thing in the world, and kindness doesn't cost a penny. Let's share that instead of hatred and grief, I think. I believe that there's enough bad in the world nowadays. Adding to it is certainly not helping the world we live in. So hopefully this little, I won't call it a rant, hopefully this conversation will help change some viewpoints and maybe push for a better future online. I've left these games a very long time ago. My friend Jess, who you'll probably know as BB, she uses my account now, and she said, as a congratulation for finishing your exams, I'll help you get to level 60. I was like, oh, okay. But I didn't even use these games anymore, so to cause drama on these games and try and make someone's life hell, even when they don't use it in any way you can, I think is wrong, and I think this needs to stop here and now.